don't trust nobody. Hollywood specifically, when you get there, a lot of people don't know how to say no. That's the difference between New York City and California.
I hope he would think about it and this would be in his mind, but I wouldn't actually know what another person is saying.
We all thought this was just about Diddy, right? That 50 Cent was aiming all his fire at the bad boy mogul. But oh no, this goes way deeper than we imagined. Because now, 50 isn't just taking down one titan. He's opening up a vault so dark, so buried, it's sending shockwaves through the entire industry. In his explosive upcoming documentary, 50 Cent isn't just spilling the tea on Diddy's alleged abuse and manipulation. He's coming for Jay-Z. Yes, Jay-Z, the man who's built his billion-dollar brand on polished family values, clean-cut narratives, and a reputation so controlled it makes Fort Knox look like a glass house. And now, that house is showing cracks. The most jaw-dropping piece of this puzzle? Ramir Satterthwaite. He's stepping up. He's speaking out, and what he's about to say could shake Jay-Z's carefully curated empire to the ground.
It would be something I really would want to find out because, in the future.
But here's the twist. This time, Ramir's not pleading in courtrooms or whispering in shadows. He's front and center in a high-stakes documentary, backed by 50 Cent himself. This isn't some Reddit conspiracy or wild YouTube theory. This is real. This is raw, and it's been brewing for over a decade. Ramir says his mother, Wanda, was just 16 when she had what she described as an intimate encounter with Sean Carter back in 1992. Let that sink in. Before she passed in 2019, she made a sworn statement under oath, her dying declaration that Jay-Z is the father of her child born in the summer of '93. Since then, Ramir's been in a relentless, heartbreaking battle. He calls it a deliberate cover-up, an orchestrated campaign of obstruction, manipulation, and straight-up legal gaslighting by Jay-Z's powerhouse legal team. And now, if 50's documentary delivers on what it's teasing, we may finally witness the unraveling of one of the most tightly guarded reputations in music history.
They once worked together a long time ago. They're not friends now. They don't like each other. And yeah, 50 has taken every shot, especially when Diddy has been down.
Let's get something straight. This isn't about clout. This isn't about fame. This is about truth. Ramir's fight has been long, painful, and publicly buried time and time again. The court system? It's treated him like a political football tossed between jurisdictions. His mother's sworn testimony? Sealed away, locked in silence. And Jay-Z's legal team? Allegedly twisting facts, dodging accountability, and doing everything possible to delay, dismiss, and disappear the case. At one point, Jay-Z's attorneys even claimed he had no connection to New Jersey, despite public records showing he owned multiple properties there. And when they got caught, they brushed it off, called it a simple mistake. But here's the thing, mistakes don't usually come with this much damage control. And if the stories coming out are even half true, we're not just dealing with a family secret, we're dealing with a legacy on the brink of collapse.
I got older and my mom just continued to say the same thing, and she never changed the name. She always been with the same name. I'm like, well, why? As I got to 16, 17, I'm like, Mom, you've been saying this since I was a kid, so it's like now my mom never lied to me, so why not believe?
But let's be real. New Jersey law doesn't play games when it comes to attorneys knowingly twisting facts. And according to Ramir, this wasn't some sloppy mistake or legal mix-up. Oh no, he says this was a calculated move, a well-oiled strategy designed not to seek justice, but to bury the truth. And what truth is that? That Wanda was just a teenager, underage, when she allegedly had her encounter with Jay-Z. That this wasn't some consensual adult fling swept under the rug. Ramir believes the cover-up wasn't just about dodging child support or avoiding headlines. It was about protecting a brand, a billion-dollar brand Jay-Z built on clean images, tight control, and deep silence. Because if this comes out, that foundation crumbles, and Jay-Z never wanted the world to see the cracks.
Initially, my mom was in the show, and she was a friend. You know, that's her and her friends stayed. So after the show, he was doing little signings and little autographs and stuff like that. I guess he wasn't too big, but you know, I guess females, when the show's over, you can sign little autographs like that, talk to people for her. She said she went up there.
And now, just when you think the stakes couldn't get higher, they take a dark, gut-wrenching turn. This paternity battle, it's no longer the only storm Jay-Z is facing, because right now, he's also being named in the same lawsuit as Diddy in one of the most disturbing allegations the industry's ever seen. It all traces back to the year 2000 after an MTV Video Music Awards after-party. A woman whose identity is being protected claims that both men, Jay-Z and Diddy, spiked her drink and took turns assaulting her. She was just 13 years old. Let that sink in. 13. Jay-Z has already fired back, calling the accusation a blatant blackmail attempt. In his own words, "No, sir, I will not give you one red penny." Defiant, denying it all. But guess what? The court documents are in. The lawyers are circling like sharks. And while this terrifying new case unfolds, one simple fact remains. Jay-Z has spent 30 years avoiding one thing, a paternity test. And guess who's gleefully connecting the dots now? None other than Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. He's not just poking fun on social media anymore. He's doing what the entire music industry has been too afraid to do, lifting the curtain. He's giving Ramir a global stage, a voice, a film, a spotlight brighter than anything Jay-Z's ever tried to control. For decades, the gatekeepers of hip-hop have wrapped Jay-Z in armor, presented him as the loyal husband, the corporate mogul, the fatherly figure who could do no wrong. But now, with Ramir stepping into the light, armed with his late mother's affidavit, official court filings, and a lifetime of being pushed away, all that glitz starts to crack. And what's underneath? It's not just messy, it's devastating.
There's different things there. That's not really beef though. That's just competitive.
Competitiveness. All right. So you and Diddy, you and Puff cool?
No, I don't. Okay.
The emotional toll on Rye? Absolutely crushing. In interviews, he's not begging for millions or chasing fame. He's pleading for truth, for dignity. This isn't about money or spectacle, he told the Daily Mail. It's about uncovering the truth. And here's the gut punch. He says Jay-Z has never acknowledged him. Not a letter, not a denial, not even a simple response. Just silence. And for Ramir, that silence? That's been the real punishment. Now, 50 Cent is dragging that silence kicking and screaming into the spotlight. And if this documentary lands the way everyone expects it to, Jay-Z won't be able to keep quiet much longer. But there's another layer to all this. Beyonce. While Jay-Z's out here playing legal chess, ducking DNA swabs like they're subpoenas from the IRS, rumors are swirling that things inside the Carter mansion are tense. One insider claims Beyonce had enough, that she's issued a cold, clear ultimatum. Be honest or I'm gone. Allegedly, she's hired a top-tier crisis strategist and shifted her focus entirely to protecting Blue Ivy and the twins, not her husband's legacy. And why wouldn't she? Beyonce has spent decades building her own empire, an image of power, grace, and dominance. If Jay-Z's secrets risk setting fire to everything she's built, well, let's just say she's not the type to go down with a sinking ship. Sources say the tension exploded at the Mufasa premiere. Jay-Z hit the red carpet, all smiles, posing for cameras, but social media instantly clocked the vibes. Blue Ivy looked proud, one user said. Beyonce was flawless. But behind the glamour, something was off, and 50 Cent pounced. He posted a jab on Instagram. Jay said, they said, I did something to a kid. Everybody get dressed. We going to see Mufasa, LOL. And just like that, the internet went wild. He deleted the post, but the damage already done. Whether you see it as trolling or truth, one thing is clear. Jay-Z is smiling in public while his personal life is burning behind closed doors. And this mess, it's not just about competitive jabs or long-standing rap beefs. This is deeper, way deeper. Because remember, this is all happening with Jay-Z still linked to Diddy. That bond, that iconic billionaire brunch brotherhood, the one where Diddy once said, "When I'm in trouble, Jay-Z is the first person I call." Well, now both names are tied up in lawsuits so disturbing they read like plot lines from a Netflix true crime doc. Allegations of coercion, abuse, exploitation. This isn't a scandal anymore. It's a reckoning. And 50 Cent? He's fanning the flames like he's holding a front row seat to the fall of an empire. He's reminding everyone, these moguls didn't just rise to the top, they rose together, helped each other, protected each other. So if one falls, the other might come crashing down too. That's why this documentary could be a cultural earthquake. If 50 delivers on his promise, if Reimer's story is told with receipts, if those sealed court documents get cracked open, if Beyoncé's alleged ultimatum turns out to be real, then we're not just witnessing celebrity drama, we're watching the collapse of a dynasty. Jay-Z, the business mogul. Jay-Z, the family man. Jay-Z, the icon. All of it on the line. And the man swinging the wrecking ball? 50 Cent, smiling like he's already won. We've heard the whispers for years that Jay-Z has done things, allegedly participated in things, the public would be horrified to hear. And while he's busy dodging bullets from one direction, the Diddy storm is pulling him deeper into much darker waters. This isn't just guilt by association. This is decades-long entanglement. Jay-Z and Diddy didn't just build empires. They built a machine. They moved together, shook hands at the same tables, closed deals in the same penthouses, and partied behind the same velvet ropes. But now, that machine is falling apart.
Has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to know.
And now, the same man who once toasted Jay-Z at a black billionaire brunch is sitting behind bars, facing a mountain of charges that sound more like the plot of a Hollywood thriller than real-life court records. And the question that's hanging in the air like thick smoke is how much did Jay-Z know? And how deep does this go for him? Because this isn't just about music. It's about legacy, it's about power, and it's about whether Jay-Z's empire is about to face the same collapse that's devouring Diddy's right now.
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious. Okay?
For years, the whispers echoed through the industry. Quiet, persistent, chilling. But nobody dared touch them. Not the press, not the artists, not the insiders. The infamous white parties in the Hamptons, the NDAs stacked higher than album liner notes, the hush-hush settlements, the rising stars who mysteriously vanished after speaking up. Yeah, that. Former insiders have floated a dark theory, claims of a VIP blackmail ring, a systemic web of control allegedly built to guarantee silence, suppress victims, and protect the untouchables at the top. We're talking about hidden cameras, footage used as leverage, favors exchanged like currency, loyalty bought with unimaginable price tags, all under the glamorous mask of celebration. And who, according to multiple sources, was always at the center of these rooms? Jay-Z, Diddy, their circle, their fortress. Fast forward to today, and that fortress is cracking. Federal agents have already stormed Diddy's properties, seizing what they claim could be damning evidence. Let this one sink in. Over 1,000 bottles of lubricant were cataloged. 1,000! And that's just the surface. Testimonies have surfaced, disturbing accounts of coercion, abuse, and trafficking, all under the guise of elite parties. And who was there? Some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry. Now, they're scrambling, desperately, to distance themselves. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's documentary is reportedly tracing these connections all the way back to the early 2000s. And just like that, this stops being a personal scandal. It becomes a story about systemic rot. This isn't just Jay-Z's crisis. This isn't just Diddy's downfall. It's an indictment of an entire industry that turned a blind eye while the powerful protected each other. And if you think this is just some internet conspiracy, think again. 50 is not to be taken lightly. People love to paint him as petty, as a troll. But Fifth, he's not joking around anymore. He's not playing. He's plotting. And now, he's touring, promoting, preparing. Which brings us to what no one expected. 50 Cent, the disruptor, the prophet in the shadows. For years, he's been jabbing at Diddy's parties, mocking Jay-Z's silence, posting memes about needing protection, accusing them both of hypocrisy, preaching philanthropy while allegedly stomping over broken lives. And what used to look like trolling now feels eerily strategic, because this documentary isn't just about revenge. It's surgical warfare. With Netflix on board and a director known for exposing cultural giants, this isn't just 50 going after two men. He's coming for the illusion they helped build. And it's hitting hard. Because Jay-Z built a brand on transparency, justice, and social responsibility. But now, as his closest ally faces federal human trafficking charges, what has he said publicly? Nothing. No calls for accountability, no distancing, just silence. And behind that silence, shaky denials whenever his name shows up in court filings. Jay-Z may not be the only one watching his legacy crumble, but right now, he's the one with the most to lose. Behind the scenes, Beyoncé is reportedly holding the emotional center together while the empire collapses around her. This isn't just a brand crisis. It's a full-blown identity fracture. The Carters have built their legacy on control, elegance, and unity. But now, insiders say the emotional toll is crushing. Because beyond the red carpets and carefully curated Instagrams, there are children in this story. And they're asking questions. Blue Ivy. She's not a toddler anymore. She's a teenager. She has a phone, internet access, friends, and a last name that echoes across every headline. She stood beside her parents at the Mufasa premiere with composure, but sources close to the family say the weight behind her smile, it was enormous. For years, she was the heir to a cultural throne. Now, she might become the face of its unraveling. And no matter how protective Beyoncé is, and her instincts are legendary, even she can't shield her daughter from the reality of public disgrace. Insiders say Beyoncé is torn, struggling to keep the family image intact while wrestling with betrayal behind closed doors. Her silence used to feel like power. Now, it reads like tension. Every post, every appearance, every move is being dissected for cracks in the facade. And fans are split. Is she complicit? Is she trapped? Or is she quietly strategizing? Meanwhile, 50 Cent is just getting started. And trust me, he's a diabolical genius when it comes to this game. He's not just turning this into drama, he's turning it into a reckoning. Because this isn't just about Beyoncé and Jay-Z anymore. This is about children, growing up in a storm of speculation, half-truths, and digital noise. Jay-Z's silence may be a legal tactic, but to his kids, it's confusion. And for Blue Ivy, it's a PR war being fought with her image on the front lines. Beyoncé's team is working overtime with crisis managers, but no amount of spin can erase the psychological weight of watching your family name trend for all the wrong reasons. Fame gives you money, but it doesn't buy immunity from shame. And this is where the scandal becomes a tragedy. No matter how this plays out, whether Jay fights or fades into silence, his children will carry the real legacy of this moment. Not the Grammys, not the billion-dollar deals. This. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is weaponizing the truth, turning controversy into content, entertainment into exposure. And he's doing it under his G-Unit Film and TV label. He's not just airing dirty laundry. He's laying out receipts, weaving them into a story, and daring the world to look away. And the crazy part? The real drama hasn't even dropped yet. If 50's project is as explosive as insiders claim, it's about to rip the velvet curtain off the highest levels of the hip-hop elite. Because Jay-Z isn't the only one standing on this cracked foundation. Other names, big names, are already being whispered. Deals made in silence, victims buried in silence, careers traded for silence. If Jay-Z falls, who tumbles next? This isn't beef. This is bigger. This is power getting exposed at its core. We've seen this happen before. One brave, relentless voice peels back the curtain, and everything behind it collapses. Hollywood had its reckoning. Big tech had its turn. Now, it might be music's time. Billion-dollar brands, public loyalty, carefully manicured reputations, all of it hanging by a thread. And 50 Cent knows exactly what he's doing. That's why this isn't just gossip. It's a challenge. To the fans, to the press, to the people who always knew, but said nothing. So here's the million-dollar question. If Jay-Z falls, who's next? Could this be the moment where the illusion finally shatters? Not just of one man, but of an entire system built on silence, image, and unchecked power? We want to know what you think. Is Jay-Z's silence a sign of guilt? Or is he bracing for a storm only he knows is coming? Drop your thoughts below. And don't hold back. We're watching this unfold together. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and remember, even legends can bleed.